What's up, and welcome to episode number 105 of the Scoped Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I am your host, Jackson Heaton, Atlanta's rock ambassador. And dude, these are my boys. Like Machines on the podcast today. And it really is just that. It's bros hanging out. If you've ever wanted to know what it felt like or sounded like to just hang out with a touring band, have some laughs, get some inside stories, joke around a little bit, this is the episode that you don't want to miss. You have Andrew Evans and Tanner Hendon and Like Machines. Now, I've known these dudes for a long time. They were the second guests I ever had on this podcast when they were the Stir. And they're just doing huge things now. I mean, they've been on tour with Collective Soul, Fozzy, Crobot, Pop Evil, Nita Strauss, Avatar. I mean, these are some heavy hitters, man, that are making the Atlanta rock scene so proud. I don't even know how to get into all the topics that we discuss. We just really have a good time, talking about them now touring, stories from the road versus the purity of them when they were just gigging around Atlanta and, they could mess up a little bit or have an off night and where, now they're a touring band and doing huge things, they got to be on every night. They got to be on their game. And it's just really cool conversation. And again, it was just some bros hanging out. I really hope you enjoy this episode. I know I did. I love every chance I get to talk to Like Machines. So let's do it. Episode number 105 of the Scoped Podcast. Step into my world. I'm psyched. Let's go. No, I love Axel. Axel always has a story.
Oh, yeah.
Axel always has a story.
You radio DJs, man, your job is to talk, you know?
Yeah,
so.
I don't do a lot of stories, man. I don't know what it is. I think the pandemic changed me. The pandemic changed me because before the pandemic, I was always in. I was never out, right?
Right.
I never wanted to be in. Now I love being in. I love being in.
The office.
You what?
You mean like in the office?
No, just in general. I love being at my house.
Oh, I understand.
I used to always want excuses to be out. Like, I always wanted to be doing something, and now I just love being at my house. Right. God, y'all look grown up. Andrew, be on that mic when you're talking.
Tell me more about my skin.
I don't know.
And the jawline. Look at his
Your
jawline.
skin is like, I read a fact, and I started a thing on the show on Rock, called the Random Ass Facts of the Night. I'm going to start doing it on here, so I do have some cool facts. But, I read a fact that skin literally has light on it that glows, a little bit of light, and yours is glowing, Tanner.
You got so many photons.
Gosh.
Now, Andrew, I don't know if this is something you like to do as well or something you condone, but Tanner hurt my feelings very recently.
What did he do?
Really hurt my feelings. So we're setting this up, and he's like, is it video or is it audio? And I'm like, it's audio. And he's like, cool. Like, we got to go on this guy's shitty podcast. It's only audio.
That's not what I meant.
You're wasting the light in his skin.
No. He was like, it's only going to be audio. It's no video.
No. I didn't know if you had changed it over to a video format too, and if we needed to look sexual.
Yeah.
Y'all do.
Well, I appreciate
we do,
that, but
up.
Yeah. No, I want to start doing video. You really made me go into a tailspin about this after we talked. I started feeling bad about that I haven't started back the video aspect of the podcast yet. And I'm like, man, I got to get a GoPro. I got to do all this. I have plans for it, but come on, man, I'm having a child.
I'm sorry.
Wait till he really starts joking with you.
My apologies.
I have a child on the way I have to save up for. I just played my last round of golf yesterday before he's here, and probably for the next year, and I played horribly. And it was just a total disaster. And then there's Tanner. It's not a video podcast. It's just audio.
Oh, man.
No, but this is crazy. This is crazy because y'all were the second guest I ever had on my podcast when y'all were the Stir. We did it in one of those rooms over there. I mean, and y'all were still, doing great at the time. Y'all were playing around, Smith's, Star Bar, all that. But what is it now? Almost 5 years later.
Oh my God!
Well,
are we allowed to cuss on this?
Oh,
I
yes.
can't remember.
The past 2 years don't count, so it's like 3 years ago.
So we're not counting the past 2 years?
No.
Oh, I didn't do the podcast during the pandemic.
Well, exactly. So it doesn't count.
I would have been on episode like number 500 by now.
Yeah, doesn't count.
I stopped it, and people wondered, and I can't believe that people still want me to do it even after this long of not doing it. They're like, oh, finally it's back. This is great. And it was difficult to try to start it back because I was like, oh, I'm going to have to leave the house. And,
Did you forget to get dressed?
Well, it's audio only, so, who cares?
Sweatpants and a button down, baby.
No, Aisha and I are buying a house next year. I'm going to build a home studio for podcasting. So next time y'all are on, you'll probably be at the house in the home studio.
Very nice.
Video cast, right?
You what?
Video cast, right?
Video cast, yes. It'll be all fancy for Tanner. That way he doesn't have to ask.
In the mirror with the lights.
Yeah. It's, you're going to be looking at yourself all around.
Thank you.
It's going to be phenomenal. That hair of his.
Very sensual setting.
Tanner, I wanted to ask you real quick. Was there a point where you wanted to drink during the pandemic?
Not really. I've kind of really said my piece with that. At least I feel like at today, as of now. I would say there's times where I don't really have the urge to get drunk, but a nice glass of wine would be really good with this dinner. Moments like that.
I'm sure in March, April, May of 2020, or just all the craziness, you were or when you found out you wouldn't be able to tour for a while, you were like, man, I could really go for a glass of wine or a beer now.
Boredom is not a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was, but me and my family, we went up to our lake house up in North Georgia, and we were all just hanging out and out on the boat every day. I mean, honestly, pandemic was a lot of fun for me in a lot of ways,
I was just talking to someone about that the other day that, an old buddy of mine. Yeah. We were like, Yeah, we kind of thrived during the pandemic. Like you and family, me and Aisha, we got engaged. We played a wedding. We got married. We got pregnant during it. So
man, that sounds like y'all had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, not to take away anybody that had a difficult time, but I think it put some things into perspective for a lot of people as well.
Andrew, how'd you do?
Oh, I crumbled.
Andrew did crumble a little bit.
I'm actually just now rebuilding. Yeah, it crushed me.
No positives on that one?
No, there were some positives, of course, but like a lot of growth came out of it. And with a lot of growth came like a lot of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So like there was goods and bads.
I mean, we did have, as a band, we had a lot of momentum like right before the pandemic hit. We had like 4 months of touring planned and, new music we were working on. And then it, obviously it was just snap.
Got boned.
Got boned.
Yeah.
No, and something about that. And one, Andrew, you're really pulling off the what is that?
The bandana.
The bandana around the neck. Of course, Andrew can pull that off. Of course he can. Gosh, the way the guy moves on stage.
These are things, growths from the pandemic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a couple tattoos during the pandemic.
Dude, nice. Yeah. I just started getting tattoos.
Yeah. I got the Rock On sign right here on my bicep.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Saw the one on your leg. Yeah.
Oh, God, that hurt. That
was
dad stretching right there. Oh, God. I've been waking up like the past 2 weeks. My lower back's been killing me. I've had to do like 10 minutes of stretching every morning. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me?
Start doing that. Start doing yoga.
Aisha and I, we've started getting into that because I was like, all right, I got to start stretching. I got to start.
Andrew's gotten jacked from basically just doing
I know.
yoga.
He looks, both of y'all, you look shredded. Oh, my God.
Hold on. Look at his jawline.
Oh, my God.
Just look at it. Woo! God bless.
Come on, give me that profile. Give me that profile, Dan.
Christ.
You guys are making me blush, okay?
Fucking talk about photons.
I was thinking back. I was thinking back to when this morning I woke up, my back hurt, so I got to stretch. And I was thinking about when we were all running around like Star Bar, Smith's, all these places till 3:30, 4 in the morning. Just, we would go to like Smith's, see a band, and then shoot over to Star Bar for the late night, to see who was headlining there. And it was just, that was how it was back in like 2017, 2018. Like the Atlanta rock scene back then, it was, I hate to use a lame term, happening, but it was crazy. It was crazy back then.
For sure.
Yeah, it was on fire.
And I try to talk to bands that, started in the last couple of years about that. I mean, like, I really want to get that back going. And, I don't see that right now. And I think that is because of the pandemic that happened.
I mean, I think it'll come back. I think we just got to get back into the swing of it. Everybody's kind of. It's not like we snapped our fingers and everything went back to normal kind of thing. I think it's going to kind of crawl back. You know what I mean?
But I mean, even in like 2019, it started to. I want to say separate, but bands weren't really hanging out as much as they were before, or weren't as close. I don't know. I want to see that happen again because I've always said I'm going to write a book one day about 2017 and 2018, and and going to those shows, and all of us bands. We had our little group that we had, our little clique of bands, and
our little Seattle.
Yeah, that we would just all hang out and we'd meet up at shows. And it was crazy. And just now, 4 or 5 years later, all of us more mature, obviously I didn't bring beer here this time, and I'm like, screw me. And then I got, Tanner, who's sober.
Right.
And then I just wanted to.
Dude, I'm still in bars like every night on tour. I just don't. I still party. I just don't drink.
No, I didn't mean that. I just mean, I don't know. I don't really drink before the podcast anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I came back, I was like, all right, I got this new mature sense that I want to bring to the podcast, and still have fun. Still go get beers afterwards, and I don't know. Now we're having this like legitimate conversation.
Well, you're doing bigger and cooler things now, man.
Yeah. You guys are doing bigger and cooler things.
Well,
you guys,
that's how it goes,
I used to get hammered before our shows. Now I don't.
You don't get hammered anymore?
Well, I do afterwards.
Yeah.
2017.
He still falls over on stage like once a week.
Yeah.
I just saw a recent video of you falling over. Was that right?
Big bruise.
But that's just how you move around, baby.
Yeah,
that's
I
how
don't have any control.
That's how you jive.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you live was y'all opening up for Pop Evil, and that was just.
Oh yeah, that was super
Good
fun.
God.
That was
Good
awesome.
God.
You introed us.
Yeah, I did. It was probably really shitty, but
No, it was great.
I'm just kidding. No, man, you guys, where you've come in your live show, like from the days of the Stir to like now, you guys were always good, but now you're fucking great.
Thank you, man.
And I mean, what are y'all not doing right now? You opened up for Collective Soul. You opened up for Pop Evil. You're playing all the festivals now.
Yeah, we're trying, man. We're trying.
What's the next festival?
No, we actually don't have any shows scheduled at the moment. We're been in the studio with Rob Caggiano, who he is the guitar player in Volbeat.
Yeah.
And he's produced a couple tracks for us, so we're getting ready to start releasing some of those.
Wait a second. You guys working with Volbeat? Someone from Volbeat?
Yeah,
Rob.
I am a Volbeat super fan.
Well,
I love.
you wouldn't be after you met Rob. No, I'm just kidding. Rob is the best.
Yeah,
I'm just
Rob.
kidding.
Those
Rob
guys.
Cat.
What were you gonna say, Andrew?
Oh, I just call him Rob Cat.
I don't know what to say. I love Volbeat. Servant of the Mind was such a great album. What those guys do. It took me a while to get into them because
It's definitely an acquired taste.
Yes.
I feel like.
I listened to them like, they're Danish, and his voice at first, you're like, I don't know, do I like it? Do I not? And then the more I listened to it, I think it was Lola Montez.
Yep.
I listened to that song and I was like, fuck it. I love these guys. And now I can't stop listening to them.
No, I agree. I mean, honestly, I could be wrong, but I kind of feel like some people, we kind of have that same thing. Like Andrew's voice is very different, and the first time you hear it, you're like, whoa, that's different. I don't know how I feel about it, but then you hear it again, you're like, it's so different that it's cool,
The one thing I will say about Light Machines, and especially Andrew's voice, it encapsulates you when you see it live. Like, I mean, I don't even know how hard that is for you to do. Because I tried it one day. Aisha was around, and I had a little wine, and I had a bottle, and we're sitting there, and I remember Aisha and I sitting on the couch. This was like during 2021, and I had saw something pop up from you guys, and I was like, Aisha, I think I can do this. So I tried imitating your voice, and my wife will tell you to this day it was the most cringeworthy thing she had ever experienced. No, guys, man, God.
Well,
No.
like we said, he falls over a lot on stage, so it's
Falls
not
over.
easy.
I crack glass with my voice.
I mean, you're on the right, you're on the left, you're back to the right.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to start incorporating Tanner's mic some, because sometimes I can't make it back over to mine.
You just push him out, like, get out of the way.
I know that is a funny thing. Like sometimes though, when you go from, like on the Pop Evil tour, it was just all different size venues. Like we'd be playing a Smith size venue one night, and then we're playing the Buckhead Theater. You just kind of get on autopilot when you're on tour, but it's like, the past 3 nights have been a small stage, and now all of a sudden I'm over here at the Buckhead Theater on the far side of the stage. I have to sprint to get back to my mic so I can sing this part that I'm about to miss, and you just don't realize that.
Or you have like, 3 shows in a row where you got the big stage, and then you got the small stage on the 4th night, and then you fall over the drum set.
Is that difficult when you say you're going from different stages? Like you're on there and you don't really pay attention where you are really for a lot on stage. No. I'm sure you're just moving around. So when you have more space to work with and then less, does that affect you every night of how you're moving, your tempo of how fast you're moving around?
I definitely have to take note of like where shit is.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there's the drum. Oh, I can't take 2 steps back. I got to take 2 to the side and then 2 steps. You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't think people think about the technicality of that when you're watching a show. Like all that's going on stage. You're not just playing. You're not just singing. There's just
sure. I mean, there's cables everywhere up there. I mean, it's a bigger stage. Obviously, you have more space, but then, like I said, you got to make sure you get back to your position, in time and all that. So,
or we could start using the Britney Spears little face.
Or we could do that. Yeah. Then you don't
I
have
would
worry
love
about
to see Andrew with the Britney Spears thing. That would be legendary to see like a little boy band
bitch.
Career-ending legendary moment.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's go over. It was Collective Soul, Pop Evil. Who's some other people that?
Avatar.
Avatar.
Nita Strauss.
Yeah, we were just on tour with Nita Strauss. Crobot. Did I say Avatar?
Yeah.
Clutch. We've played with Tyler Bryant, The Shakedown.
Good God.
Well, I just made this list the other day. Who else?
I can never remember.
We played with the another Atlanta band, Hero, the band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably the
Fozzy.
highlight. Yeah, of course, Fozzy.
Jesus.
Of course,
How I
Fozzy.
can forget
Christ.
Fozzy. Yeah, those are probably the highlights.
Oh, how was Avatar?
Avatar was
great.
cool.
I
Yeah.
love Avatar.
Super.
Love Avatar. Love Crobot. Nita Strauss, she became the first female solo rock artist with a number one song on the
know.
active rock charts,
I
man.
know.
She was crushing it.
That is so well deserved. That's
Yeah.
really cool to see something like that happen. God, that was some heavy hitters you guys have been with.
Yeah, we're trying to do it, bro.
I don't know. I don't even know how to talk to you guys anymore. You're so big now, and you come on this little podcast because we've always been bros, and then y'all are coming in here and like Andrew with his cool tattoos and Tanner with his glowy ass skin.
The photons.
The photons.
On the real though, I mean, yes, we've had some cool successes and cool moments, but I mean, it's still a grind, dude. You know, I mean, it's the rock world is loyal, but like small these days. You know what I mean?
You could fall off the top as soon as you get on the top.
For
right?
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's any genre, but the rock is a grind these days. You know, it really is.
What's more fun, touring with the Avatars, the Pop Evils, or just gigging around Atlanta? Well, what was more pure?
Man, pure gigging around Atlanta.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're entrenched in the business a lot.
The
you know?
politics,
Yeah,
the money,
The sweet politics.
the bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Don't do it, kids. Go to school.
It definitely is a lot of bullshit, you know. And it's the game you got to play. It's like any business or whatever. But I mean, yeah, pure wise, definitely just rocking Atlanta, man.
When you could just go play any show, like you could book your own shows, just go there, didn't have to get through the red tape or ask any,
Yeah, and I mean, those
have all these
shows
people
that
involved.
even the ones that you suck at, you know what I mean? Like there's something about that learning experience and going back in the rehearsal room and shedding it out and whatnot. I mean, we still do that, obviously, but it's just a little bit more like put together now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The journey.
Which is cool. I enjoy that. But
Was that a big shock when y'all like started like going out on the tours and expanding? Was it a little overwhelming?
Well, the first time we did like a bus tour, there was like 13 or 14 people on there. I remember like third day, I was like super anxious. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what am I doing? So there's, I can't remember what you asked now.
I was saying, were you nervous, or was it overwhelming when you started playing the bigger shows, like you said, on the bus with more and more people and getting that more attention?
I think the expectations of ourselves went up for ourselves, and just like, now you can't suck.
Right.
Like now you can't have that, like, there's not a show that's a rehearsal anymore. There's not that 12 people at Star Bar kind of thing. Those shows, any show's important, but like, some shows like that, you can kind of go out there and wing some stuff, and it's cool and it's fun and you try it out and whatever. And you can still do that a little bit. We still do that stuff. But you really just, we felt like we had to bring it. And, we've learned a lot from other bands. Pop Evil really, Lee from Pop Evil, the singer, he really like would take us aside and like just give us little tips and like just little things that you think aren't a big deal, but they are. Just things like if you start to feel awkward on stage doing some rock moves or something, just lean into it. Like you don't look weird. He
basically was like, be cooler.
Yeah.
Be cooler.
Stuff like, start with a jacket on and then take it off after 2 songs, and like just little things that like keep the show flowing, that make a big difference.
So I thought that stuff, your record label or your like managers, like really drill into your head. But if it's coming from, like Pop Evil or these people that are actually playing on stage as well, that's pretty cool.
And I mean, managers and people on the team, they make those suggestions too, but
we don't listen to them.
No, I mean, it's like sometimes it's kind of like when your parents tell you to do something and you're like, fuck that, whatever, mom and dad. But then like, someone the same age tells you the same thing and now it makes sense.
Like,
now it
Timmy
clicks.
told me I should brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of one of those things. And they might say it in a different way that clicks for you because they're on stage doing it.
Timmy told me my teeth are disgusting.
For you, Andrew, who that y'all have toured with, giving you the best advice for like the way you sing and have your presence on stage?
Man, I think Lee, like we were just saying, I mean, he, like Tanner said, he would really like take us aside and be like, try this, try that. And watching him, I learned kind of how to entertain the crowd beyond just singing and, headbanging or whatever. And watching Chris Jericho too. I mean, he obviously is one of the best entertainers ever. So watching him every night, like just get the crowd, get the energy levels up where they need to be, just, with ease every night, was amazing. So learned a lot from both of those guys, just the way they keep things entertaining.
And I mean, Ed from Collective Soul is like,
oh yeah,
he's like the OG.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done so much for us. So
yeah, y'all said he
Shout
has
out
like
to
this
him.
house of guitars.
he's like my music dad.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you said you take guitars from him,
Well,
or you borrow.
yeah, I steal them, and he never notices.
Well, I'm going to ask you to play Axel's over here and give
Yeah.
us a little something here in a
Sure.
minute. All right, cool. I can't even imagine, man. Like, one, Chris Jericho. I swear to God, what was it, that church show they played or in the old church?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Aisha's first time seeing him. And I swear he came on stage and he's like, say Chris Jericho! Say Chris Jericho!
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems a certain way, but that's just Chris Jericho.
Yeah, like that's the thing about, guys like that. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that on stage. That sounds like the cheesiest thing ever. And then they do it and they own it and it works.
And
You're
you
like,
get
what the
applause.
fuck?
You get people
Yeah.
yelling.
Yeah.
You're
If
like,
you
okay.
look or feel uncomfortable doing something quote unquote cheesy, then it comes off that way. But if you like own it and are confident, then it's like, oh wow,
Right.
he just did something cool.
Right.
You just hit me in the fucking soul, Andrew, because I have had a hard time gaining some of my confidence back. Doing the radio thing, doing the podcast. Like, I was nervous to do the podcast again. Like, we've had some great episodes y'all have been on before, and I'm like, gosh, I got to recreate this. I got to do this and that. And I don't know, man. I got to get my confidence back. Maybe it's just from being at home 2 years, but
Dude, I think the pandemic and being at home and not being around, social environments.
Literally
as
not
much.
being around people.
Yeah, I think that has affected a lot of people's confidence.
like Aisha's job, she's constantly talking to she's an insurance and underwriter in insurance, so she's constantly talking to her team. There would be like weeks would go by where we didn't see each other face to face, like here at the station, or I wasn't talking to people, and it kind of felt alone. And I'm just sitting in my guest room in my studio doing a show, talking to all these people that are living their life, and I'm just sitting in that room, and it really. I guess the first time saying it depressed me for a little bit. It sent me into a little bit of a depression because I was just I was lost for a while. You know?
I feel you, dude.
Well, now you're home.
And now I'm home. I got my boys back. I got my life machines back. I don't know, man. Yeah, that was crazy, and that was crazy. I've listened to a lot of people's stories of what they went through, and it was. Like I said, there were some of us that had great, times during the pandemic, and all that. And there's just so many people, some stories I've heard that it just.
I mean, I think for the most part, it was fine. But I mean, I had both. You know what I mean? It was it was a year and a half, 2 years long. You know what I mean? How could you not have ups and downs during it?
This is what I meant to ask before. So, and I've talked to a lot of musicians about this, and I'm hearing it. Bands are writing different stuff. They're evolving their sound. Because I think bands, maybe this is what y'all are doing with the music you're about to release that you've been working on with the Volbeat guy. What was his name?
Rob Caggiano.
Rob Caggiano?
Caggiano, yeah.
Caggiano.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rob Caggiano. That's a fan.
Italiano.
He's Italian, New York
Sounds like-
Italian.
Yeah.
Sounds like a guy that will come chop your leg off if you owe him $5.
He might.
Rob Caggiano. So, not being able to tour for 2 years, not being able to be in the same room to write music really for a long time, did that cause y'all to be all right, let's step outside the box here, and let's see what something new we can write.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly we had time to do that. You know, we had time to experiment and go outside the box.
And I mean, we literally physically were not in the same room for much of the writing of our last EP.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was somewhere, I was somewhere else, and our producer was in LA, and we were just passing files back and forth. So, I mean, that in and of itself forced us to write differently instead of like jamming out in a room.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was something, and that's something that not a lot of rock musicians get, it's time. Because, you know, you're in the normal way you were rushing to get a record out, rushing to tour, or that's what the formula was.
Yep.
Right? Put out, tour. Right? Put out, tour.
Sure.
You know, you have time to like sit back and, you know, chill and really expand on a song if you're writing. I've never written a song, so I don't know the process of it, but written a couple poems, you know, one that made an academic journal one time. No big deal.
Hell yeah.
And but yeah, so what kind of new stuff are y'all coming out with?
I think on the last EP, you know, we started to incorporate a lot more programmed kind of sounds, you know, keyboard stuff, and you know, I mean, it's still guitar based, but we experimented with that stuff, and I think, you know, the newer stuff is sort of almost in a way blending our first EP and our last EP together. It's like got the aggression and like heaviness of and some of the rawness of our old EP here, Freedom Ring, but with like more fresh sounds and like more melodic big courses and stuff like that of our second EP, Supervillain, you know. And I think we're just continuing our journey of like finding our own sound kind of thing.
So many musical terms there that I didn't understand.
You know, it's like blue and purple, man. And
I mean, you guys have come out with 2 EPs, and y'all aren't even what? I know you're 30.
Yeah.
I'm 28.
28. Good God. You guys, I'm not going to be able to get you in here much longer, I know.
Of course you are.
It's going to be, I want to do this at the house when I get a home studio. That's going to be, that's when it's going to be fucking killer. And the wife's bringing us dinner. You know?
Yeah. I like that.
Hurry up, baby. Hurry up.
I like that.
Tanner, when are you and the wife going to, you know, make a baby?
I don't know, man. Probably, you know,
When you're going to make a baby?
Next few years. I mean, we definitely want to have kids for sure. Trying to get this band thing off the ground, you know? Yeah,
man. Me and Aisha were married for 3 months before we got pregnant.
Damn.
That's awesome.
We wanted to wait a year, but, you know, we were actively... we were actively not trying and trying.
You were excited newlyweds.
Yes, we were excited newlyweds. And we were going to go to Mexico for our 1-year anniversary, which is the 30th of this month, our 1-year wedding anniversary. Our son might be born on our anniversary, which would...
Wow,
that'd be cool.
Everyone says that. That would be awful. That's our day.
That's hard.
But we do say that if he's born on that, we'll like pick any day of the year and go like travel or whatever.
Conception. Day of conception.
Day of conception. Wait, what?
Instead of the birthday, you just go with the day of conception.
Oh, the day of conception, yes.
I love that.
I was going to tell you all the name, but the mics are on, so I'll tell you all at some point.
Almost got in trouble.
Yeah, I almost got you. She would kill me, man. No, it's been difficult. I mean, it's been great. Obviously, I can't wait to be a dad. And the fact that it's a boy for the first one, that's super cool. But man, I'll tell you, pregnancy, when it's your wife, it goes by fast, bro. Like every woman that I've ever known that's been pregnant, it feels like they're pregnant forever. Like, well, you still haven't had that baby? When it's your own, I swear to God, man. I feel like it was just like we were 1 month in or a month and a half in, and we were like, oh, we got like 8 months, 8.5 months. This is going to be easy.
I feel like y'all have been pregnant forever. So
seriously?
I can relate to that.
Oh, dude, it feels like it's gone by in a week. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Why did I bring up my kid? Oh.
Because you're excited, dude.
No. The birthing class. We had a 3.5 hour birthing class last night.
God.
3.5 hour birthing class. And the amount of times they say vagina and penis, just make you, like, she had to, like, bump me in the side because I'm just sitting there laughing when the nurse at Northside Hospital was saying vagina and penis. And she's like, take this seriously.
Like, how can I take this?
She's
seriously?
talking
I
like
would
about
still pass out. I would still